know what I'm saying? I think that's we should be working on that, man. I think that's
Yeah,
just
that-
gonna
That should be dope right there.
it should take it to another level, right?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Let's make it happen.
All right. You know what I'm saying? What's up, world?
Yo,
You know who it is, man. You know I'm Zeus,
J So.
and we represent Olympian Multimedia. But in this particular segment, we want to introduce to y'all our brand new concept, being,
Alpha.
and I'm Omega. We're the production duo Alpha Omega, and we just kind of just want to highlight some things about us based off the questions that were submitted to us through the Discord community. We definitely want to give a shout out to you guys out there. Appreciate you submitting these questions. I'm glad to see that there's a little bit of a quote unquote some noise being made about us.
Yes.
And people trying to inquire some things about us, and people just want to get kind of an understanding of where we came from as far as our love for music, and you know what we're going to be working on in the near future that we're going to be putting out for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anything to add, my fellow companion?
Man, I'm ready to just get into it, you know, talk about our long history we have.
Yeah, we definitely got some things to discuss. It's definitely based off these questions. Y'all might have some jokes for us at the end of this thing, you know what I mean? But it's all good.
It's all love.
We just want to kind of just round us out with our history and what we trying to do for our future. You dig what I'm saying? As you can see, I hope y'all basking in the ambience here. We're live in studio,
That's what we're
a la
working with.
Studios. And again, shout out to the Discord community. Appreciate the questions.
Shout out to y'all.
Appreciate the sentiments. And the shout outs that you'll be giving and the love. So, Alpha, let's get up in this real quick. You know what I mean? So the first thing that was submitted to us was they want us to explain how we cultivated this passion for music and how music was the basis and the foundation for us to create this friendship. So what you thinking over there, man? Like, how did you cultivate that passion for music?
Music always been a first love, way back when I was young. And then just growing up, it just got bigger and bigger. Then we fast forward to going to high school, and I met up with this dude, and come to find out, we had the same passion. And of course, you know, his name was Zeus. And the more we got to know each other, the more we just was like, yo, this is us right here. And then we start doing our own thing back in the day. Start making music, you know, beatboxing in class, getting in trouble. But you know, we got the whole class into it though, you know. But music has always been there, and I don't think it's ever gonna leave.
I think I look at it like too, man. Like with me, with my passion, I feel like a lot of the most important things that's ever happened in my life growing up, it was almost like there was a perfect song to go with it. You know what I mean? Like you just had it in your head, like your own personal soundtrack to your life. You know what I mean? It just seemed like there's certain moments, certain nuances within that moment. You could hear the music in the background,
A certain song
and it just
playing.
seemed to go with whatever was happening at that moment. You know what I mean? Which is like freaking crazy. But yeah, it was wild, man. When we were back in high school, man, like me and Jay definitely connected quick, and it just started. I don't know. It was almost like some old Professor Xavier X-Men type thing. Like we read each other's minds and we just like ding 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 ding. Like I could feel this dude's in the music like that, and we just started talking about different artists that we were into, what we were listening to at the time, and then it just like what you said, it just turned into like start tapping on desks and stuff and just making beats. I bebop, he would.
I would tap beat on the desk, instant.
instant, man. Just some wild stuff inside, like in the classroom and stuff. It's like almost every class we went to was like that's what we were getting known for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yo, man, y'all gotta play beat, play beat, play beat, play beat, do something. And it's just like, I don't know. It kind of sort of fine-tuned us a little bit early on.
Yeah.
To kind of just bring that producing side out. You know what I mean? And not only that, I was exploring the whole, rapping thing. You was exploring the singing thing. So we would kind of incorporate that a little bit as well. Like, the freestyling aspect, basically, along with, like, the beat making.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing they were trying to talk about is, or what the audience, what the peoples out there want to know, is elaborate on these quote-unquote growing pains when we were trying to find our way to producing. I don't know if y'all really want to hear this kind of stuff, though. Personally, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know if y'all want to really hear this stuff. What you think? I mean, are they ready? Should we?
maybe we could probably.
Let's just start with the visuals.
Show
you know
y'all
what I'm saying?
better than we can tell you.
As you can see here, and go ahead and hold that up, Jay. And we're not gonna play on this. Ain't this battery operated? Ain't no batteries in here.
We not.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't. As you can see, this is a really old school, like toy keyboard. You know what I mean? Like this some old, like you get out of KB toy store back in the day, or Toys R Us or whatnot. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a Casio.
I mean, yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
But
they looking at it like,
no,
man, you know what I mean? But you guys out there, we actually were building our first bass lines and creating our first melodies on this. You know what I mean? Which
Believe
is
it or not.
mind-boggling. Well, mainly him, because he's the man on the keys. You know what I mean? But we would just kind of decipher on different sounds and stuff and kind of like blend different types of sounds together in order to create a bass line. And then obviously he'll play the melodies off the keys. But
this is what got us started.
This what got us started. You know what I mean? I don't have it with me, but I actually had one of them old school boom boxes that had the output for the mic jack. You know what I mean? So we plugged in the mic. And Radio Shack was definitely our best friend back in the day. We pretty much got everything we needed. Obviously, we were on a budget, as you can see.
We was always on a budget.
Definitely on a budget. But, we went ahead and with the boombox set up the mic. And we were able to record on cassettes. And I know that's probably really freaking your mind out right now.
Some of y'all may not know what a cassette tape looked like.
And we don't have a copy of that either. But there's a thing called Google. If y'all don't know nothing about no cassettes, go ahead and Google that up real quick.
Ask Siri. One of them will tell you.
And then you're wondering, well, how did you guys make your drums? Like, you got to have some type of drum pattern to the beat. Well, as you can see here,
y'all laughing.
We ain't cooking nothing.
Y'all laughing.
We ain't chefing it up in here.
No.
But seriously, this is what we use to make our drum patterns. You know what I'm saying? We literally was
old school pots.
We were
and
banging
pans.
on pots and pans all over the damn kitchen table. This one's a wooden one. We definitely used like some metal ones. Sometimes it was good. You get a different type of ambience with if you use the rubber tip ones, you know what I mean? But this was it. Between banging on the table, kitchen table, and then doing something with the pots. So don't make fun of us.
I know y'all laughing, but
I know y'all thinking like, man, these dudes is wild. You know what I mean? But I know y'all probably got some funky stories too. Alright? I see y'all out there, you know what I mean? But again, we had to work with what we got. We were young kids still in high school. We didn't have it like that to go to an actual studio. To be real, our knowledge wasn't all like that, right? back then.
Not back then.
I mean, I think that's an amazing thing for both of us is that we don't really never got like actual technical training when it comes to this stuff. It was just kind of like us.
It was natural.
We just had to roll with it, you know what I mean, and work with what we got. So the next thing, Jay, they want to talk about, or want us to talk about, is describing the difference in our producing styles. And explain what's the difference, or as they put it, degrees of separation between being a music maker and a music producer. So y'all really coming heavy with the questions, you know what I mean? Let's start with just the difference in our producing styles. I think for me, you know, I rely heavily on like using different types of synths and different types of effects. I'm very plug-in oriented. I love using different types of plugins and whatnot. And as far as like hardware is concerned, or just trying to manipulate and actually produce, as you can see within the studio, we got a whole bunch of hardware in the form of different sequencers and MIDI controllers. So I'm very dependent on that, of just using that when it comes to producing. You know, I'm heavy with the plugins and just using different MIDI controllers. My approach to actually just making the beat, though, is I pretty much start with the drums and the bass line first. Occasionally, I'll start with the melody. If I just come across, if I'm just playing with something, I'll start with the melody. But I'm really more of a drum pattern, the bass line first, and kind of getting that situated first, because I feel like that's like the building blocks to the beat. Once I get that established, then I could kind of like really hone in on the melody and see how I want to chop it up accordingly, and obviously align it with the drums and with the bass line.
And see, that's where I think that's what makes us different. I like the melody.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I'm looking for all types of different melodies first, and you know, eventually I'll do the bass, but I'm more like, let me find the melody, you know. So I'm always on the keys. That's my thing. I get on the keys, I let the fingers talk, and finally I'll find something, and I'll just keep tapping at it and keep playing around, and eventually I'll come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then once I do that, then I'll look for a bass line.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's what makes us a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the opposite, so to speak. But either way, we still get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always been kind of like your forte anyway, with the like just making the melodies and whatnot, and just your ability to just go ahead and just mix a drum pattern or the bass line, mainly the bass line, into the melody that you're playing. That's another thing too. I think what comes with the difference is that you can multitask a little bit more than me. I'm more structural in the way I come up with the beat production. I kind of like do the A through Z type of formatting, where I do this and then I do this. You know, I'm not as proficient as my counterpart over here, you know, playing keys and working his magic on the pads and whatnot. I'm just not there yet as far as just building up my speed and so forth, and just that sequencing when I'm doing the pads or using the keys or whatnot. It's a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, this guy got the natural ability. But like you said, we make it happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We definitely make it happen.
I think too, like, the beats probably will sound stale anyway, right? If we were too similar.
Yeah. So we both was doing the bass line, then it's like, all right, now we gotta do the melody.
Well, not only that, but I would think like too, like it just sounds too robotic, like too the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice that you have your own swag and your own style and your own perspective when it comes to music, and so do I, because we like sort of the same music, but there's also the differences as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? As far as like particular sounds and stuff like that, different tones and rhythms that we use and whatnot. You know what I mean? So, and then the other part here, I guess y'all want to know the difference between a music maker and music producer. It does sound the same on the surface, right? But I think what the gist of y'all are trying to get at is that, again, this is just our opinion.
Our opinion.
But a music maker, it's not hard now to make music. It's everything is more digitalized now. You know, back in the day it was analog, so it's a lot more components, a lot more steps to the process. Now it's digital. You pretty much plug in a MIDI controller to your DAW, and then you just go ahead and create your beat. And by technical standards, you don't even need all this.
Definitely don't.
You can make the beats simply just on the computer or whatever electronic device that you're using.
Right from the phone.
So I think with a music maker, I think it's just, you got your certain people right there that just, they can kind of get on any kind of format, and they just kind of piecing together a few things, and there you go, you make a beat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got little kids making beats. You know what I mean? So I think anybody can pick up the craft of making music. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're just manipulating sounds. You're piecing them together like a puzzle to make to basically make your masterpiece, make a finished product. You know what I mean? Whereas a music producer, you're really taking it, you're honing in your craft and you're taking it more serious. You're understanding there's layers to this.
You're really picking it apart when you're a music producer.
Yeah. Like you definitely, like I said, you're honing your craft. You understand there's steps. There's even more steps to the process.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're starting off with making the beat, when you start making your drum patterns, you sequence it accordingly. From there, you do your bass line. You're going to add your hi-hats, a kick, a snare, something to it to give it a little bit more oomph. From there, you make a melody. If you're going to structure into a song, obviously you got to make it so that you have verses, right? At least a couple verses, a part for the bridge, a part for the hook. You know what I mean? And then you kind of do something for the ending where it kind of trails off. You know what I mean? To complement the vocals that's being recorded on it. So I think a music producer, if you consider yourself a producer, I feel like you're taking the craft seriously. Just like if you're an artist, anybody and their mama can draw and paint and illustrate something on the canvas. You know what I mean? But what separates you from a real artist is how much are you willing to put in to your craft to find them layers to perfect. You know what I mean? And just get better and better. What you think?
I agree. I agree what you're saying. You just, especially when it's your craft, you keep working on it and you keep perfecting it. Even when you think you're there, there's still something that's like, you know what? I can do better.
Yeah.
And then you keep working on it, you keep working on it. And that's what separates a lot of people. You know, anybody can do anything, but it's when you perfect that craft.
Right.
Like, you know, anybody can cook, but it's when you keep perfecting that recipe. Now you're stepping your game up.
That's a good point, man. Good analogy there,
Yep.
man. I like that, bro. You getting real philosophical and whatnot, dog. You know what I mean? I didn't know we were gonna start getting it deep up in here. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to get it too deep, but I want to make sure that they understand.
I feel you, man. So it looks like if I see on the horizon our next thing, they want to know a little bit about Project Songbook.
project songbook.
Yeah, and they kind of want to know, you know, what that about, what the book is about, how we came about it, you know, just our kind of scope and viewpoint when it comes to songwriting. And just for the people out there that don't know, we actually published a book, and it's called Project Songbook. And it's literally comprised of songs. We also had another author out there on the book. And basically it's comprised of songs that's never been recorded. You know, so they were written. There was no plans to make an album out of them or apply any kind of vocals or do anything with them. So we thought to not let them go to waste, we would go ahead and just kind of put the compilation together, the collection together, and make a book out of it. It does have some illustrations in there as well to kind of complement what we got written in there. And that's pretty much the gist of it. There wasn't really I don't remember no big thought process with this. This was just something we just sat down.
We talked about it, say, hey, let's get it done.
I mean, we had some songs written, and we just said, shoot, what's the harm in just, you know, making a book out of it, right? Like, I don't know. I know y'all probably think y'all want us to come up with some really complex, wild story on how we came about this, but
it's not that complex.
It wasn't that complex at all. We just had some songs written and just thought, at this present moment, I had already published some books. Yeah, that's another, you know, that's another hat I'm wearing, you dig? You know, I'm an author, got a few books out there.
Another hat.
You know what I mean? So, I just thought it was cool with the team to just kind of, we do a book together, you know, endorsed by Olympian. I just thought it was just a cool idea. You don't really see a whole lot out there, just somebody make a book
about
of songs that they wrote. So I thought it was pretty dope. What you think?
It definitely was a dope idea, you know, for us to come together and create this. You know, who would have thought?
You know what I mean?
You know, like, who would have thought we would create something like this? But
and it's a little bit of everything in there, man. It's just not one topic we talk about. We try to scatter it around with the different concepts. I thought that was pretty innovative, like some of the concepts that we came up with in the book. You know what I mean? So
definitely,
I thought it was pretty dope. Got some pretty decent feedback from it. It is available, so check it out. It's available on Amazon, Kindle, Goodreads, and BarnesandNobles.com. Or you can look us up at www.olympianmultimedia.info, and we can send you a copy personally autographed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, we'll put that, you know what I mean?
We'll
put
throw
that
that in
little
there.
In there for you, you know what I'm saying?
Just to put you on the spot.
Oh, here we go, man. I wasn't really prepared for this.
Yeah, I'm going off script a little bit.
Oh, man. Well,
since we made Project Songbook, this one, you know, I was wondering, are we going to make part 2? I mean,
I guess we got to make a sequel, right?
I mean, it's only right.
I mean, personally, I wasn't really thinking of it at the time, but since you brought it up, we might. You know what? We're going to leave it for you guys out there.
You guys decide.
How about you let us know, you know what I mean, if you would like to see a part 2, a sequel.
Let us know.
What I mean? Let us know. If we get enough feedback, we might make that happen. You dig?
If you guys want it, we'll do it.
If y'all guys want it, we'll do it. We'll do a little something. You know what I mean? You feel me? So, there was another thing I wanted to kind of talk about.
What was it?
Since you steady be putting me on the spot, you know what I'm saying? You always putting somebody on the spot and whatnot, man. I'm just not. You know
I mean, that was the perfect time.
Like, I mean, you're like borderline pissing me off right now. You know what I'm saying?
Here we
and
go.
I just need you to kind of mind your business. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop being all in my, you know what I mean?
Everything pisses you off.
Huh?
Everything.
I'm a grown man, dog.
I know.
So I have growing needs and shit.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100. You know what? I don't even need this right now. You know what I'm about to do? I'm about to just go ahead and work on something. You go over there and do whatever you got to do.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna come over here and do something.
That's
You know
that's
what I'm
what
saying?
that's what you're doing.
And we're gonna wrap a taste later. Alright?
We're gonna finish this
Alright,
later.
we're gonna finish this, man.
Oh, boy. Let's hear what you're working on.